Yep. Yeah. Good. Okay, welcome to the Teviot Valley Board meeting on Thursday, February. Welcome to you all, and to those staff, obviously, as you see, that will travel to Roxburgh to participate in this meeting. Call for any apologies. I have none myself. Okay. Public forum. I understand we have no speakers in public forum.
Correct.
Confirmation of minutes. I think everyone's read the minutes and is happy for them to be accepted.
I'll accept those.
Do you move?
I'll move them through. Yep.
Second, please. All right. Yeah. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
And those against? Carried. Okay. Declaration of interest. We will put our interest into the interest register. Have there been any changes for that? No. Item 5. Reports. Application to stop part of Branson Street.
Mr. Chairman, that report has been withdrawn on agreement with the applicant, and will come to the next meeting.
Okay. So we need to formally acknowledge that in Mayor Tim's not here today. Did he submit a report for doing so? Okay, so it's up to me. I can sort of get into it. Okay, my chairman's report for our board meeting today begins by welcome to 2023, and we, as you all know, we're already into February. It's been an enjoyable and interesting start to this training year, and we're now 4 months into what is my first stint as chair of the Teviot Valley Community Board. The things that I've found so far, I would no longer need introduction to the individuals in our community, as everyone seems to know who I am, and more to the point, they believe I recognise them. As I'm often very proudly informed, I boast for you. So like Google and Apple, I'm working on facial recognition as a means of identity confirmation, but with my limited data capture capability and aging neural technology, it will take time. So I'm sure I'm not in this alone, but it's interesting how people become free to rock up to my home and my business any time of the day or night and any day, willing to share their thoughts on any subject that they believe I should be interested in, or worse, be an expert in. And quickly I've come to understand that the people still see board members or the Teviot Valley Community Board members as their go-to to fix anything that they believe needs fixed in the valley. More so now that I'm sitting here as chair. So there's been some fairly big conversations at my place since October, November 23. Gold mining, the health, RMA, through all these reforms, and of course, more patriotic issues like roading, walking tracks, where the rates being spent, block sumps, nobody love-hate relationships, and the list goes on. But as chair, I want to continue to be of service to our community. And I'm very keen to put communications on the top of the list as a focus for both the community board and CODC. My experience in the last 4 months tells me there's a need for more accuracy in the information we are sharing, and education and familiarisation of processes and protocols among those in our community. In response to calls for assistance to resolve issues, the standard recommendation I have made has been log a service request for those issues that are operational and based. If you've got more serious and bigger issues, you're more than welcome to come and see me or any other board member. When I make the recommendation to log the service request, I generally get a response along the lines of what I used to give Teviot, or what happened to the days when I just rang a board member and an issue got solved, or I've done that and nothing happens, or that request goes into a black hole. So it made me think a little bit more about what was actually going on. And the underlying message to me so far is that people are feeling disenfranchised because they don't understand how the system works anymore. They tend to want to revert to their old ways of talking to someone who they think will go cut the long grass on the walking track, or make a call to the guy who will drive the gravel truck and dump a load of gravel on their road. So the reality of, for me, there's a real challenge for us all early in this training to refranchise our people by making them give them accurate responses to issues. And above all, proving that the processes and policies we have in place within CODC are theirs to use, and that they will get the outcome they understand. I know it's impossible to satisfy every need or provide a solution to every issue, but we can provide a path to resolution one way or another for most. Now people need to be shown how the system can be. In my mind, the first step is communicating how the process works and spreading the good news stories from those who have used it. In closing, my aims in this triennium focus on spending my time on the bigger issues that are facing this community, like increasing our ratepayer base, re-establishing the lost green spaces, growing our medical and aged care support, attracting investors, encouraging economic development and growing our social infrastructure. Hoping not to have to spend my time voting with the community on how to use our systems and processes. That's one of the. So the message there is we've got some fantastic processes in place, but I'm getting the evidence is saying that our people aren't using them. So we've got an education process and a communication process affecting the youth. How do we go about that? That's with the guidance. Thank you. Yep. So just move that my report be received. And there's a second. Okay. All those in favour say aye. Carry. Good. Yeah. Okay. So members' reports. You want to start, Sam?
Yeah, sure. So my members' report, 28th of November, I had a Teviot prospects meeting. 30th of November, walkways meeting. 2nd of December, Teviot Valley Hubs meeting. 7th of December and the 1st of February, which was yesterday, swimming pool meeting. And the 13th of February. Oh, that's not right.
Unless you go to the future.
I wrote over that one from a few years ago and it said drop-in session for skate park. I don't think I was at that. I don't think that's correct. You can take that out when. No. So yeah, a lot of my meetings have only just sort of cranking back up again this week. So I know next week we've got a walkways meeting. In terms of the swimming pool meeting, just to give you an update on that, things are tracking along pretty well. They've started the concrete block walls for the main building, and I saw a scaffolder there yesterday, so they've kind of got to a height now that I'm not sure what scaffolding is for, but we're moving along pretty well. And at this stage, my best guess is we'll probably be finished around April, end of March, April, I think. So yeah.
Is that really full of water? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say April ready for water. I wouldn't say before April. Yeah. So we're discussing last night at the meeting actually about having the official opening for the pool, and we've decided that we would like to have our official opening immediately after it's finished instead of waiting until the start of the season, which would be like October. So we're thinking we'd have an official ceremony probably sometime in April, and whether the pool's got water in it or not, we're still planning on making that the official opening of the pool. Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Just a couple of other things. I was talking to a lady down at the golf course yesterday, and she had walked down to 3 beaches with her dog, and there was so much rubbish down there. She was actually going to get her car to drive back down to pick the rubbish up to go and put it in a skip. And I think I just heard from someone a while ago, they said they reckon there was like 50 people at 3 beaches one day when they went down there. So obviously it's really popular. There's a lot of, I think a lot of the seasonal workers are going there as well as locals. And it seems like there was a lot of glass bottles that were all stacked up by a tree. So I don't know if someone's gone along there and tried to tidy up the bottles, or I'm not sure. I don't know why they haven't been taken away in the first place, but I don't know whether we need to have some signage down there to try and educate people to take their rubbish away, or if we need to provide some kind of rubbish. Seems like it's really popular, but it's being littered. And I think it's probably a problem that happens every summer down there.
So how do we get it cleaned up?
So I think she was cleaning it up, this lady, a local lady, but it's not really up to her to have to do that.
So we can look for some signage down there.
Yeah, I reckon signage would be really good. I also did, because I'm part of the Teviot Hubs group, I did email all of the orchardists that I'm in the group with just to ask them if they could just let their staff know, because I'm not saying it's all of their staff, but just to let their staff know that it would be great if they could take their rubbish away if they are going down there.
So how does it crowds?
I was going to say, I wonder if that's also like almost speeding up the circuit. Do we have things down there?
No.
Okay.
Is it Lynn? Lynn. Right. Yeah.
Might be a bit of a conversation. Yeah.
Right.
That was like rubbish bags and stuff on it. It wasn't just like somebody had been down there and had a bit of a party.
Yeah, a lot of.
So, QP, do you have a comment on that?
I'm sure we can have a contact with one then.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be, yeah. And one of the orchards just come back and say, are the recycling bins still by the bowling club, which they are? And I guess he was trying to think, well, if they had a whole lot of bottles, maybe they could go and put them in those bins. So I don't know if those signs would want to reference where they can take.
Yeah, we have made up some recently highlighting the different recycling spots and station locations.
Yeah.
Just like started pilot correct.
Yeah.
And if the service requested to put through in Berlin when we can arrange for anything to come forward with this.
Okay, great. The other one was Peter McDougall rang me just before the meeting, and he noticed that there's a temporary road closure on the Three Brothers Road on the 20th of March for vehicle racing. And he's, well, it's a long way away, but he's a little bit concerned that everything's really dry at the moment, and just in terms of fire. And I don't know if the race, if they've got any kind of stipulation that they have to, if they can still race through there if it's like extreme fire danger?
I'll have to confirm, but I believe it's a single vehicle thing
Oh,
as opposed to a race.
right,
I'll have
okay,
to double check
Okay.
that, and I can come back.
okay,
But that's my note.
okay, cool. And that is my report.
Thank you. Mr. Reid.
I get a lot of requests from people for, say, planting trees in the main street, and that's right. I restarted a squash club when I came here. It had ceased operating with quite a lot of debt, and I got the debt paid off. It's now reverted to the same situation, and I've decided as the last, I'm still nominally president, to donate the whole club to the school. So today I did that, and it's got to be discussed by the board. The costs are rates and power, and presently there's a couple $100 worth of power going. But as it happens, on the school staff, there's a squash playing member who's significant in women's ranks, and I'm quite happy to do coaching, so I think it's a good solution, because otherwise I don't know what would happen. The rates would occur again, and no one is actually using it at all, like no one. And the value of the building would be, well, it would be $500,000 to rebuild it, so it's quite an asset for the school to acquire for nothing, I think, and principal today was very pleased with that as a result. Norman and I attended a meeting of the IH McPhail Trust, and we gave away various monies, and that's really all I've got to report.
Thank you. Sure.
The only report is the December medical centre meeting, and they're settling into their new system. And the only other meeting I've attended with council in mind was the local body was board meeting in Dunedin, which is the direct assault on our democracy and needs to be dealt with.
So we had a museum meeting, my first museum meeting, and we're looking forward to their new premises. So that's looking good. A couple of Teviot prospects meetings. Went to an Onslow update with the council, and regularly each week there's a Millers Flat community meeting, which I've been to many of those. The biggest issues that are coming out of that, and there's anything between 20 and 40 people turn up to that meeting every week. The biggest couple of things that have come out of that are the continual questions of me about the gold mine, what's up with the gold mine, and it's quite embarrassing that I just say I don't know. So I'd really love to get the latest update as to, as to what's going on there, and then I'll be able to give them some information. Is there any update that I could say to them that?
Please.
Since you've got the book machine for that undertaking with some Kingston, and they are able to move 3,000 cubic metres per site, and I think we've got 34 sites. We've had trouble getting hold of them through when we can see. I think it's going to be a big issue. They've got me, I'll find out.
Okay, cool. Okay, the other thing that's freaking people about is the potential removal of the green rubbish, green waste, and so that's now spelled out to say, well, when the new green bins come, is it going to be a compulsory, or is it opt out or opt in? And I'd just like to know, do they have an option to opt out of the green bin? They don't want to pay the money for the green bin, or is it a compulsory thing, or how's that planned?
Yes, I can up there, so I've done on the existing solution formers.
Yes.
That become part of that service, so at the moment you can opt out of yellow or blue or green. That becomes the full thing with the service. So there's no opt-out unless you're a rural route customer, and you have the opt-out of the full service or having the full service.
Right, so presumably there'd be an extra cost though.
Correct, and it's offset by taking the value of the waste, sending waste to landfill out of the route bin and putting it into the agreement. So it's significantly cheaper to process organic than it is to send waste to landfill. And about 44% of what goes into the red bin can go into the green bin. So that significantly offsets any cost increases.
That's cost neutral to the council.
There is a cost change, but we're working through that through the annual plan. Currently.
Okay. Yeah,
So there is no cost saving.
no
Rather
cost
than for the rate, right?
by opting out.
Mm.
Okay. Last couple of things, just so people know, the cavalcade will be done and gone by the time we have our next meeting. It's here on the 5th or the 4th, Saturday the 4th, is it, of March. There is 600 people coming to demonstrate for that. That's the terminal point for the cavalcade this year. So that'll be quite exciting. And the last question I've got is we haven't seen any more information on the spatial plan for the last 2 or 3 months. I just wonder if there's a progress update. I'm not asking for full report. I just wonder if there's a progress update of what's the next step.
Louise might be able to give you
Throw that one to Louise as well.
Louise, I'll restate that, Louise, because we're walking in. Just a spatial plan. Is there any update onto progress? People are saying, well, where's that at? What's going on? And
So we have had some information back following the community consultation, some information back from the consultants, and we met with them. And there was a few questions we had, so Anne Rogers and I drive around last week and we saw you, and Anne is pulling it together so that she can go back to the community. She is currently tied up on a submission on resource management and reform and a few other big meaty things, and as soon as she's got that out of the way, she'll be coming back to the community and we'll cut that in.
month away, you think?
No, it's not months away, but I'll go check.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's it for me.
Okay, so that's some of our members' reports. I'll move that they be received. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
So coming now into the governance report. Oh, sorry. All those in favour of members' reports being received, say aye.
Aye.
Those against, say nay. Carried. Okay, status reports. So I do governance report.
Yeah, governance report. Yeah. The only thing that's there is the all status updates. If you've got any questions on any of those updates.
Say that again, sorry, Mark.
So for the governance report, the only thing that's on it
Yeah,
is those status updates. So if you've got any comments.
right, okay. So I assume people have read the latest update on the status reports. Do I need to go through them?
No.
Okay, so I'll move that that report be received. I have a second, please.
Sure.
So all those in favour of that report being received, say aye.
Aye.
Those against, say no. Carried. Date of the next meeting. Date, the next scheduled date was the 23rd of March 2023. Okay. So I don't close the meeting now, no, we'll just exclude. Yeah, so resolution to exclude the public from this part of the meeting. The recommendations are the public be excluded from the following parts of the proceedings of this meeting. And Okay, we'll do that. So, a mover and a seconder for that, please.
I'll move it.
I second it.
All those in favour say aye, public being excluded from meeting here on. So no. Against it. Carried.
Just give us a couple of minutes.